Now the final presentation today is about one of networks behind the conference, this EPALE one. And Reeta Knuuti, an MA in communication, is working as a project coordinator at the National Support Service in Finland for EPALE. So please come to the floor. Yeah.
Does it work now? Do you hear me? Turn it on. Yeah, is it on? It should be. Off mute. Progress on. Yes, now I'm on. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Okay, but how many of you know what is EPALE? Okay, I think almost 2 of the third. That's really nice. And how many you have a profile in EPALE? Hands up. Ah, profile, or you have registered as a users inside EPALE. Okay, so 1/4, that's a really nice one. Okay, but EPALE, e-platform for adult learning in Europe. So why EPALE? Before Erasmus, we had a Grundtvig program. Well, I wasn't working in CIMO that time, but I have heard that people were discussing, why don't we have a space for adult educators, like e-twinning has in primary education. So where is that? So the Commission heard what we were saying, and they started thinking that perhaps we should also have a platform for adult educators. So from that came EPALE. So EPALE is a website or platform. You can choose whatever word you want to use, but usually it's a website or platform. And it was launched 2 years ago, 2014, in October, November. And I started in working with EPALE 2015, so almost 2 years. It was 2 months old. And like, if you have been in EPALE, I have to say and confess here in the start that like sometimes Commission brings something on, and they have, all the babies, they have like all their ears are like scratching for them, they are like adults almost, or they have the fever. So in Finland we have this lapsuuden vaivoja, so sickness of the babies. So we have those few in EPALE, but please be patient. And it's getting, and I was saying that I have been here in 2 years and the progress has been huge. So I will show you the website at the end of the presentation, but let's few slides before that. How does it work? Is it on now? Okay, what is EPALE? Like I said, e-platform for adult learning in Europe, and it's for all the people who are working in adult education sector. So, people working in vocational education, people working in folkbildning, people working in universities, people working in voluntary organizations, like Scouts. So everybody, so the range is huge. There's also prison education, museum, librarians. All of those are inside EPALE. And also the workplace learning is a growing part of EPALE at the moment. But we try to embrace everybody in our website. So you can, and like I said, it's a web page. We have news, blogs, etc. You can go just and read them. But if you want all the fun things, you have to be a registered user. So when you are there and you have the profile, you can meet the other people inside the web platform, and also you can upload or recommend news blog posts. So that's why we encourage to register there and make your own profile. And I was checking out the numbers, so why should you use EPALE? And from yesterday, I was checking the statistics. We have over 4,000 visits to the website this year. 400,000 visits to the website, and almost 300,000 visitors, individual visitors to the website. So there is a lot of going on in the website. And if we check out who has a profile there, I prefer to talk about profile as a registered users. It tells more that you have a profile in EPALE than you are registered. So there is 18,000 people, and almost 1,000 of those are from Nordic countries. So if we think that in Europe there is I think 700 million people. And in Nordic countries, how many? 20? Yes? So we are taking EPALE quite on, and it was really nice to notice. So this also from yesterday. And when we are talking, this is financed by the European Commission, and every country has their own office who is supporting their national language side. So we don't have national sites there, but they are all based in the language. So we have 24 language versions in EPALE. The English one is the biggest. Of course, that's our common lingua at the moment in Europe. But every official language has also their own site. So in Finland, I download things in the Finnish language site, and Jesper in Denmark does that in Denmark, in Danish. And unfortunately, we don't have the own language versions for Icelandic and Norwegian. That's unfortunate, but at the moment we have our own Nordic portal there, where you can also write in Icelandic and in Norwegian. That's a quite new thing. It started in May, I think? Yes.
Yeah, well, it wasn't functional until October.
Yes, yeah, okay. But of course we all can read in English, so I prefer the English side. It's the most biggest one of those. And I think that in Finland, I translate news and blogs to Swedish, because we are a bilingual country, and also to English, so many other countries also do that. Or I can translate things from French to Finnish. So I think that's the best part of the EPALE also. And then we have also the community, as Jana was already telling, and website is community, and we have also social media community. So we have been tweeting this whole morning, and we are also in the Facebook. But why EPALE? Perhaps that's the most important question. I was referring to the Knuuti time, that we should have our own twinning there. But like in New Skills Agenda, the basic idea is the basic skills of the European adults. So, like we already saw in Dora's presentation, 1 of 5 of adults in Europe, they lack of the basic skills, literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. So that's why we have EPALE. That's the reason for it. So through EPALE, we can cooperate together, build networks, and learn from each other. So the idea is that why do we post something in the EPALE? It's that we want to tell that we have this best practice or good practice. We have done this in our school, in our organization, or in our project. So be proud of what you are doing and put it in the EPALE. So other one can also read it from there. I think that we all have our national networks, but this is the networks that can reach the whole Europe. And even beyond the whole Europe at the moment. We have quite a lot of visitors coming like from United States, Australia, and Asia at the moment. So this is like almost global EPALE in some way. Because also in global there has been networks in certain themes like guidance. But there hasn't been like community for all the adult education practitioners beforehand. But so we share best practices, we develop adult education in Europe, and that way we gain better education. And do we speak of the customers, learners, what's the word that you are using? So they will gain the benefits. So that's the final customer would be better. Perhaps in her personal life, by doing languages, learning a new language, or in or his workplace. And of course we want to be proud adult educators and show that we are also doing the same things that other sectors are doing in Europe. I was already referring to this and what you can do in EPALE. So we have the newsroom, and these are almost every one of these are multilingual sites. So you can read the news. The news are basically happenings, this and this event is coming, but there is quite a lot of flow coming about the documents and different kind of guides and brochures that are done in Europe. So if you want to like keep up what's going on, what CEDEFOP is doing at the moment, what Commission is doing at the moment, you can find these all in one place. So you don't have to go to the CEDEFOP page and Commission page and this and this and this and network page, but they are all in EPALE. And then you can read the blogs, and this is one of the parts that I highly recommend, especially the English side. We have almost 20 to 30 blogs in English published every week, and they are very high standard. So we have few people who write for profession in EPALE. So if this UNESCO's, they had this study or research about how the adult education is going on in government level in whole globe. And there was this short blog about, and they had collected the best points of that research. So we don't have to like read it everybody ourselves, these 100 pages perhaps, but there's a blog post about what are the best parts of this and what in here concerns Europe. So that's a service that's really good for us. And of course, if you have a project or you do want to tell what we are doing our organization, of course you can also write a blog. So it's not just for the researchers, it's for everybody. Then you can of course sign for the newsletter, and you remember the Comenius Grundtvig calendar, where you could check out the courses before. So it's over, unfortunately, at the moment, but EPALE event calendar is replacing that. So you can find training courses for your teachers or for yourself, or you can find seminars and events. I think that this was also in EPALE, mentioned in event calendar. And then the best part, I think, is the resources. So this is the library of the EPALE. At the moment, I think there's almost 20,000 different kind of contents there. So we don't upload anything into EPALE, so but we put the link to the site. So you can put brochures there, different kind of, you can link it to the YouTube videos, you can link it to the learning environment in web, you can link it to ePod. So if it's in digital form, you can put it in EPALE. And this is where the good practices are. So go there and check what is happening in your area in EPALE. And then these are the things that you can, well, read or recommend to publish something, but if you want to connect and cooperate with the people, then we have this thematic discussions group. So we have 5 main themes: lifelong learning, policy, learning environments. Help me.
I just remember the same. We can show it after.
Yes, we will show it afterwards. But we have this thematic discussions groups or forums where you can join. Everybody can join them. And they also collect everything that is related to this theme. Is it the blog or is it the news? So in one place you can follow everything that is linked to your theme or in your interest area in adult education. And then that we have all been hoping for, I know, is a partner search. So if you are looking partners for Erasmus, or perhaps even in Nordplus, or you just want to share ideas over the net, you can put your, I call it sometimes, it's a date site, so you can search for partners and tell that I want that you speak English and German, or in this case English and Denmark and Sweden, so we can use these languages, and I want that you have some knowledge about perhaps vocational education guidance. So you set an announcement there and people can read them, or you can just read the announcements. And I know that the Nordic countries, we can show, and we see the data every month, that Nordic countries are real interested in Europe, because we are good partners. We stick to that, what we promise. So, and about the partner search, it's also, when we are talking about EPALE, it's multilingual, and there are thousands and thousands of different kinds of content. So we are talking about 10,000s of pages in that website. So partner search is number 8 at the moment. So it's the best used tool that we have in EPALE. So it's like 10,000 people going there every month. It's a lot. And then we have the terminology. You can check out what the word is used in other languages. And then we have these groups. There's two kind of communities of practice and collaborative spaces. And the first one is public, and the second one is private. The public ones are seen by everybody. So if you, people in guidance, after this seminar want to build a community of practice for the Nordic guidance people, you can set up one, and everybody who is working in the field of career counseling or guidance in schools or in workplace or wherever, they can join in this group and take part of the conversation. And the collaborative spaces, they are private because they're perhaps if you want to innovate or write perhaps the project application for Erasmus. So it's a closed working place just for you. And if you are a registered user, you just like click, I would like to set up a group. And it takes 24 hours perhaps, and it's established. Yes. So you can do a lot by yourself there. Of course we have a little bit moderation, but it's because that we don't want to have anything that isn't related to the adult education there. But I was to talk about EPALE as a tool. I hope that you have, I have already told that EPALE is a tool. It gives you the base, but people who are using it give us a content. So without you, EPALE is nothing. Who wants to go to the web page where isn't anything new happening on? So I like numbers. They are sometimes good. But I was checking out what is guidance in EPALE at the moment, and this is just from the English side. But these are the numbers. So we have in the library, in resources, we have 127 different kind of resources in guidance. And there you can also find even more if you use more search words or tags. Blog posts, when I was referring to those, they are really popular there, over 101 also. You can find also organizations that have said that their key activity or some of their activities is related to guidance, 71. And partner requests that I was referring at the moment, 41. So when we are talking about how huge EPALE is, there's everything about adult education. I think guidance is quite well established there. And of course, one we can mention that tomorrow when we have the contact seminar, we have the base, a community group there for who are joining us tomorrow. And then we are going to publish everything in EPALE after this seminar. So the ways that you can use EPALE, they are quite versatile. And I think that we don't even recognize all the things that we can do via EPALE or in EPALE. But EPALE for the projects, I think that for the project, but also for the guidance, and also for the organizations, and also for the you as an individuals, what you can do in EPALE. Well, this is a little bit like I'm telling the same things again, but I was thinking that what you can do, you can, if you are individual and you want to tell what you have done, you can promote yourself in EPALE. So when you register in EPALE, you put up a profile, and I like to call them as mini LinkedIn. So there you tell what is your interest in field of the adult education. And perhaps if you want to find partners or people to talk in that same field, you can write it there. I would like to meet you. Please send me a message. And you can then, when you have the profile, you can upload the content that you have done. Perhaps you have written a blog before, so you can upload it to EPALE. And then if you are an organization, and in this point it comes also to the money. And I think that many of you here has an Erasmus funding going on. How many at the moment? Okay, quite a lot. And those who are here for tomorrow and you are thinking about the projects. So when I was referring to the funding, so from this call onwards, 2017, Commission is waiting for that you mention and you use EPALE in your project. So I was just reading the application form. It's just a sample at the moment, but it was mentioned how you are going to disseminate the results of your project in EPALE. So you have to put it in there. And I think that it's even many of the projects, they tend to set up their own web pages. In some cases it is necessary, but if you can do it in EPALE, why do you go all the trouble? And well, when you have the financing and it ends, who is going to support that web page? So think when you are writing, and at the moment, do you need the separate page? Or do you go to the EPALE where we all Nordic countries can present what you have done? So you can use us, I say us, so in the Nordic countries, as a communication channel. So you call to me or call to Jesper or call to Margaret that we have uploaded something in EPALE. We want that you promote it, and then we promote it. So it's a way to reach people, really, and it works. And you can also search information there, like I already mentioned. So if you want to keep update what's happening in Europe, everything is in there. And all kind of networks and networking. So you can contact people via EPALE. And don't worry, it doesn't hang the message, it doesn't hang around in EPALE, it goes straight to the people's email. So you can really get the content. And that I didn't already mention, I was talking about the partner search, I was talking about the projects, but EPALE is not related just to projects, okay? The funding comes from the same source, this Erasmus+, but EPALE can be everything. So it can be Knuuti, it can be your own national funding, it can be just something that you do in your own organization. So don't get focused just in this Erasmus Plus thing. If you want to send students or teachers or other stuff with your own funding to the other European countries, you can also find and search shop shadowing places through partner search. That's a quite common thing nowadays. So people are using it in a little bit different way that we were thinking at first. Like I said, it's evolving all the time, what you can do in EPALE. And also, like I mentioned, also the students can move. You can also, we are looking to places for tour cooks in Spain. Anybody hands up? That works. And I recommend that you do your own ad there. It's the best way to do it. Have I remembered everything?
More than everything.
Okay, because there was something in my mind, it just like slipped out of there. Yeah.
Comes back.
Yeah, perhaps not, because I think this is the end from this presentation, but now I will show you the EPALE. Yes. But I was really pleased to hear that so many of you are already in there. You are the best group that I have talked. Really. Usually it's like 1/3 of the people, like I have heard, and 1/5 I have profile there. And at this point I say that I will show you this very shortly. How much time I have? 10 minutes, okay? So I will show you it shortly where you can start, but if you have any questions in your own country, so please contact us. So I'm from Finland, Margaret from Iceland, Jesper from Denmark, and Sweden, Kerstin there, yes, and we have also a colleague in Norway.
Paul.
Sorry.
Paul, can you come and share the screen for me? Now I have lost the ability again. It has to be shared. I am hopeless. I will never apply for a job as a technician, ever. But you can enjoy the running stuff while you are waiting.
Yes,
because you have to somehow duplicate the screen for the online thingy. How do you do that?
Okay.
It's about the PowerPoint. It does that every time.
Because we want to go online.
To show us.
Can we do? Oh, you have to shut down the PowerPoint or something else. It's about the
Close now.
Sorry. You have to switch the screens. it's showing, I think.
PC settings. Uh-huh.
Because it
Yeah.
does it every time. Yes, I think it's
Well,
apply. Okay.
okay. Now something is happening. Okay.
Hey, wait! Here we have it. Thank you. Yes. So this is, yes. Well, like you said, you almost everybody have been here, but this is the main site in the English language. And just the language changes. So every language version has the same kind of main page. And to get started with EPALE, I show you just a few things. So this is where you select the language. So here you can see it's from in English, but when there's a drop down where you can choose the language you want to use. And I think the best part of the best thing in EPALE is that if you know like Sweden, or if you come, so we all Nordic people, we can almost all read what the others are uploading here. Or if you know German, you can read the adult education news from German, Austria, and the part of Luxembourg that use German. So keep that in mind. And then, if you want to, you can register. It's quite easy. I will show it to you. So you it tells why you have to bother. But use your username, email address, and like I said, use always your work email, because if somebody wants to contact you, the mail will get to you back. And first name, last name, and country. If you want to, what language do you want to use? Then just, this captcha thing, like it always goes wrong at the first time. I think I'm not sure if it's built in or nothing. And then you just create a new account, and you get an email.
Like the day after?
No. It comes straight away.
Okay, good.
They have changed that, luckily. Beforehand, you have to wait like an hour, day, that if somebody in Britain looks at your profile, okay, he's an adult educator, he can join us. So now it comes straight to the email. So just click on that email, and then you can go and start doing it. But if you have ECAS account, how many of you have? Okay, few? ECAS, ECAS account. So you can use that. So you don't have to go even this register thing. So log in via ECAS. And I will show, if I have a few minutes, I will log in. But this is not my, no, I don't log in.
It's not your computer.
No. It's someone else. Okay. But back to the main page. So the registering, I would have shown you my profile. I always like to show it to people. Yes. But it's very important, of course, when you were talking about the online presence. And if you have because people who are inside or registered users, so they log in, they can go. There's this directory called user base, where you can go and see what people are. So if there is just your name, no pictures, what is your background organization, there's nothing in your profile, what it tells about you. Your social presence is 0 at the moment. So and it's very easy to fill in. But I was thinking, so the partner search goes from here, the blogs, the events, the news, and resources. So there's very easy to use. And then when we're talking about the themes, I will show you also the themes, because this is the most important thing in EPALE, because EPALE, like I already said, is a tool, and you give the content there, or the themes give the content. So we have these 5. Now we remember learner support, and under that is like older persons, immigrants. So there are the sub-themes there. Learning environment, so learning in prisons, workplace learning, or e-learning. And life skills, languages, cultural education. And one of the newest themes that we have is financial literacy. It came like 1 month ago, I think. And then we have the policy level. So national policy levels and funding, and also the European policy levels and funding, and research and evaluation. So under this is also, under the policy is also the quality of the adult education. And also there's quality in here, but it's a little bit different kind of quality. So the development of the professional development of the staff is also important. So like I said, you can send people via calendar to job shadowing, but remember to go also by yourself and meet people from the other countries. So when we were talking about the ICT skills, I think this is not for you, Dora, because I had the same problem with this one. So we were talking about that I was, this is my personal opinion, but I want to say it, that our customers, they lack of the skill, but also we lack of the skills. I think, especially ICT skills, because that world is changing all the time. And unfortunately, the people who are designing these platforms, they should reconsider sometimes what they are doing and perhaps use some kind of design service there. So it's really hard to keep up. So we also have to keep up. So bear that also in mind. But thank you. Oh. Yes.
One more thing.
Yes. Because I always forget something. We were talking about the Nordic portal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So this is the main thing. Is it going on? Yes. So we collect everything that we think that is interest in other Nordic countries. So if you go there, you can check out what is happening in Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Yes. Thank you. Now, next, once again.
Keep us higher. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
something to remember us by. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.